All right. How did your work in this course prepare you to facilitate and inspire student learning and creativity? The work in this course showed me how to take a regular lesson and make it 10 times more exciting and engaging by integrating technology with various websites and apps on the computer. I think students get bored with the day-to-day work in a classroom, so giving students these unique websites to do their work on pushes them to be more creative and also to be more involved in the lesson. One of the things that we used was Weebly, and it was used to display our work in our own way, and it gave me a way to promote student creativity in the future and also reflection and conceptual understanding because it makes you look back on your work and why did I really do this project and what was it for and what did it help me do. And you can make the website in your own way, and it even has sections designated for a blog so students can have time to reflect and make their own thoughts or ideas come to life. This is continued, and in this course, I also explored real-world issues using Excel with the nutrition chart, and it sounds silly, but it actually made my awful eating habits become real, and it definitely had an impact on what I eat now. So something like that would be very helpful in a classroom, especially since kids' nutrition is so important, and they need to know what they're eating and if it's bad for them or not. Uh, some of the examples for this were our interactive learning table, where we had to come up with or find a certain amount of interactive learning activities on the computer. And the comic that we made, it was just a little instructional comic to show that we knew how to use the website. And then the graphic organizer was really fun because we got to design it and do whatever we wanted with it within meeting the requirements. How did your work in this course prepare you to design and develop digital age learning experiences and assessments? The work in this course required a lot of detail, and every assignment had precise requirements that we had to meet in order to get full credit. And it was time consuming, but it showed me how to use the tools, websites, apps, etc. in ways that I never thought I could, which then made me a lot more comfortable to be able to use them in my future classroom in their full potential. Um, each week, we were introduced to a new activity with a completely different. We were introduced to a new unit with a completely different activity than the week before, which was very helpful in touching all of the different learning styles. Like the graphic organizer would be good for visual learners because it had the circles with each facts in them, and then there were images. Um, we learned how to use a spreadsheet on Excel for the logical and mathematical learners, lecture capture for the auditory and verbal, like I'm using right now, and the coding would be good for kinesthetic because you had to literally make your own code and make it in line and make it right for to get the bird to the pig or whatever it was. Continued. Some examples would be Prezi, Weebly, and just like some field experience throughout the units in this course. I learned many different ways to make a normal lesson unique and fun without leaving room for the students to get bored, kind of like I said earlier. And all of these examples improved my knowledge and understanding of how to bring these into my classroom so I can benefit each student and bring them to their full potential with all the different learning styles instead of just being limited because not every student will achieve that way. How did your work in this course prepare you to model digital age work and learning? Throughout our lessons, we were not only required to make things for students to use in the classroom, but also teachers. And those assignments have helped us learn how to model this because we can use those apps and skills acquired for things in our future lessons. There are many different websites introduced that would be very beneficial in communicating with parents. A lot of our Web 2.0 tools and Weebly would be good, and online research, which required us to make an interactive research website. Technology is fast growing, so it is important to stay up to date, especially when trying to find ways to stay in communication with parents in an effective and efficient way. How did your work in this course prepare you to promote and model digital citizenship and responsibility? For one of my assignments, I was required to find 10 interactive websites, like I mentioned earlier, and make a chart for them. Before putting the site into the chart, had to make sure it met all the requirements that made an interactive website, and if it's allowed to be used in a classroom. This shows that I'm able to verify if it's safe, free of ads, and does not display any personal info about the user. And we had to join the site and do a free trial of the game or activity to ensure it was safe. So the interactive activities table and the Web 2.0 chart would be great examples of this. How did your work in this course allow you to engage in professional growth and leadership? As I have said previously, each assignment had great detail, which in the end made me very comfortable with the websites. This prepared me for the future because I can recall on certain assignments using Weebly and use those sites or apps in my classroom to communicate with students, teachers, and parents. Using PowerPoint and Prezi made me experienced and prepared to give presentations in an organized way, and I can also make it my own since I know how to use them both so well. In my Prezi assignment, I had to find many different Web 2.0 tools, many of which were used for communicating with parents, staff, or students. A lot of them were websites where you could put all of the classroom info on, which made it easier for the parents to find without having to contact the teacher and wait for a response. It's literally all there at the click of a button. And that's the it.